Hey guys, it's David here, and it's currently day 308. I hope you guys had a wonderful day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently 5:22. Very, very excited to get up this morning and just hit an amazing push session. Why? Well, because who doesn't like to hit the gym, right? And I am that person who likes to go. But what's most important is because I'm very excited with starting my next project, with actually writing this website, because it has been so long since I have created something of my own. The last project I made was about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't start my new project because I wanted to improve on my coding skills by doing more courses in free codecamp. But I ran into a project that I had to complete there, which took a very long time to somewhat complete. And yet I'm still completed that project, which means I'll still spend some time towards it because, well, I do want to finish it, but I also am going to put a lot of more time on my new project because I am itching to create something of my own. Because that is the whole point of why I'm learning how to code, right? Not to work for somebody, not to create something to satisfy someone else that won't help anyone, but to create something that will be of a benefit to me and to the world. That is the only motivating factor to get me to overcome my problems, to overcome my difficulties. Because if you don't have any internal reason and drive to complete the thing you are doing now, then you are going to give up in life because you have no greater reason to push you beyond your limitations, besides your own greed, besides your own little needs and wants. You have to get past your own selfish wants to sustain anything for long term. You have to get past any superficial gain, any materialistic gain for you to master a skill at craft. Because the going is going to get hard. It's going to get very, very hard. Right? As you get more advanced at what you do, you have to learn more things. You have to learn more things, and yes, some may argue that it will get easier. And yes, it will get easier, right? You will learn more things. However, the problems that you will later down face in your life is going to be more challenging, it's going to be more stressful. However, those problems will be good problems simply because you have already overcame so much. Therefore, you have built up the courage and confidence in yourself to know that you can overcome this challenge also. And by then, the reward you had also accumulated is worthwhile. Meaning, overcoming the more difficult challenge is more realistic to you because you have done so before. But in the start, it is going to be difficult. It is going to be somewhat tedious because you're still learning and you feel like you're not really getting anywhere in life. But just know, if you have this internal drive, like so I do, then you are going to get through these challenges. I promise you guys, because this is really your choice. And if you have some control over your mind and some discipline in your will, then you are going to get through anything in life. Because there's nothing that we cannot accomplish if we just put our mind towards it. That being said, I'll see you guys in a bit. So guys, the time is currently 3:18. And today I want to talk about why is it, or perhaps the purpose of why I self-improve, or what I thought self-improvement was, but it turned out to be something different. Now, I started my self-improvement journey, and perhaps I do believe a lot of us start this journey of growth because we are unsatisfied with how we are now with our life. We are unsatisfied with our situation. We are unsatisfied with the people who left us. And some part of us wants to get revenge, whether it's on the person who abandoned us or on the world for being unfair, for treating us. Now, it is because of this feeling of wanting to get more from life that drives a lot of us wanting to improve. It is the motivator that pulled me out of my ass from watching TV and smoking pot every day, from being an absolute imbecile. So it is this motivation of getting revenge almost that sparked my journey of self-improvement. But as the journey went on for me, like definitely the feeling of anger delivered a lot of results. It made me stay consistent at the gym. It made me stay off the drugs. It made me be curious to get more information to improve, for that someday I could get back at the people who abandoned me. That someday perhaps I could get back at my ex for hoping that she would regret for leaving me, and perhaps just prove other people wrong that I am the shit, you know? And it is this egotistic, this feeling of anger that so drive me to pursue this journey of self-improvement. But as the time went on, and as I had the time in myself to really self-reflect over why I do what I do, I've realized that I'm actually chasing this external reason to satisfy this void that I had, to satisfy this feeling of unsure, because I wasn't sure who I was. I wasn't sure that if I was going to become the person I believe I was, or that I was going to be someone I'm happy to become, or that I was just being somebody else that would be accepted by someone else. That perhaps I was self-improving that to hopefully I'll be a part of something that I will finally get accepted. And by doing this, I never really satisfied my own reason. I never understood why and who is it I actually want to become, and how do I see myself in the long term. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be someone we're not. We all want to be that famous person. We all want to be the cool kid at school. We always want to be someone who is going to be accepted, who's going to be admired, and is going to be someone else's role model. We all want to be that guy. But the thing is, we don't want to go through what that person goes through. So a lot of us think that we cannot become what society think as the superhero, or what society depicts as the Tom Cruise of the main character, right? We don't want to go through that tough life to become the person, to be molded as the person who is going to be almost like a king. Now, the thing is, as this journey went on for self-improvement, I realized that I didn't actually want to be this person. I didn't want to be somebody who will be accepted by others. I didn't want to be someone I wasn't. Right? It turned out, and it was very eminent to me, that I just wanted to be myself, and I wanted to be comfortable with who I was, to express my own feelings, to express my own belief, and not care so much about who and how others think of me and how others should judge of me. But being your authentic self is difficult, because if you are like me, then perhaps as you have grown, you have been judged for being your authentic self. And perhaps you were disgraced upon for being your authentic self. So we have learned to be fake. We have learned to agree to people's beliefs and just ignore our own beliefs and motivations. We tend to try and fit in for this crowd, for this group that really won't give us any fulfillment in life than just a social circle. So on this journey, as I experience more failure and experience more self-discovery upon myself, I realized that what self-improvement can give you is to bring out the best of you within you. Is to bring out your authentic self, but doing it right in the right way. Is to bring out your authentic self in the best way possible. Because it is the truth that even our authentic self has many flaws. And certainly one person isn't born with all the right attributes in life. And those attributes can be trained. Those attributes can be learned. These traits can be absorbed as you grow. So my understanding thus far of what self-improvement should give you is to give you those right traits, is to give you those right principles, so you know how to be your authentic self in the best way possible. How you can be your authentic self and still be loved by people. Bear in mind, you cannot be perfect, right? We all seek for perfection. And perhaps maybe if you live for 100 years, then maybe you'll be wise enough. But what self-improvement is going to give you is the skills and the experience to be who you are content of being. Not to be someone else. Not to be someone else in spite of the rage, of the anger, of this hate that you want to be somebody different to perhaps get back at someone. Like, these are all great motivators, but eventually, once you do prove that person wrong, then what? Then your life purpose is what? Over? Like, yeah, you can argue that you have gained all these skills and perhaps experience by being driven by this anger, but why have to switch path halfway through improvement journey when you could start out the right way? When you can start out with the understanding that you are not trying to be someone else, that you are not trying to be some person that society only accepts, but you're going to be someone you are, but the only you, the best version of yourself. And that will eventually lead to a more gratifying journey of self-improvement. That will allow you to pick more right choices. It will allow you to go with your intuition and integrity rather than against the grain. And that will lead to a more easier and less tougher route, because you are not battling with who you believe you are, but rather you are just expanding on who you know you already are. But that being said, I'm gonna get my ass down and do some work. Gonna start writing my first webpage, and as you guys can probably tell, I'm sweating like an absolute bullet train. So gonna turn on the AC and just hopefully get into a flow state, because I cannot focus when this heat is just absolutely insane right now. But I'll catch you guys tonight. So guys, the time is currently 7:07. About to finish the day, but I still have so many hours left, and I do want to use some time to plan tomorrow, because today I have been distracted. That is the truth. I haven't given my 110%. My mind was just not here. It was totally not here, and I was lost. So today, although I did do some work, it was really like the bare minimum. Right? I completed like one web page, which didn't even take that long, and certainly I would have completed so much more. And that being said, I might just do more tonight before I go to sleep, because I just haven't really done much today. As today I did finish my first web page. However, at this speed, perhaps I'll finish this next project in like a month time, maybe 2 weeks time, if I know exactly what I'm doing. But the truth is, I don't know a lot of things I'm doing, which means I'll probably need a week just to figure out the things I am not sure of. But really, if I do one web page a day, then it's going to get done in like 7 days, really. And then to handle the other styling, the user interactions and all that, that is going to be perhaps another week, just depending on how difficult it is. But at the end of the day, guys, anything that I do not know, we have AI. And that's honestly is something that we have to our advantage, and you should use it to your advantage. Don't view it as if that you are relying on something to help you. View your AI assistant as if you are working with someone smarter than you. Drop your ego, right? If you really tried hard at something and you don't understand it, if you really try to solve a problem, then ask for help, right? Ask for help, but don't just copy and paste, right? You got to understand why it is that the answer came to be, right? Why it is that that's the answer. And sometimes what I have noticed is AI can't really tell you exactly what to do, right? AI can't see your vision, which means you still have to do it yourself. But what AI can do is to give you hints and push you along the way. So at the end of the day, if you're using AI to help you out to solve something you have trouble with, or to help you understand a concept, then that may be the best asset you have. But if you're simply asking it to do everything for you, well, most likely you won't get the results you want. Furthermore, you're not going to learn anything. So every time you're just going back to ask AI over and over again. And that is very ineffective, right? I fell down the rabbit hole where I was just relying on AI to help me solve the problem. But every time I am not learning. And by not learning, I am going back to AI. I'm relying on AI. And the thing is, once you rely on something or someone, and that person or thing couldn't produce the outcome you want, you get frustrated at it rather than focusing on what you can do. And there's plenty of times where I was frustrated at AI for not giving me the right answers, when clearly the problem is my own and I should be the one to solve it. So every time I didn't rely on AI first, every time I tried to knackle at this problem for myself, even though I was spending like a long time in this same problem set to solve my problem, I learned. And by learning, I remember. And once that is set in place, and if I'm really stuck at something and I just cannot figure it out, or if I have been at this for weeks,
Then I'll and ask, what is it that I didn't see? What is it that I missed? Right? Where was I impatient that I skipped over the answer? And by doing so, it is helping me understand more than to just rely on something or someone say, you know what, I can't do it, so do it for me. Because that is not having control over yourself. And that is definitely not having control and taking responsibilities of your own success and failures. And once you don't take responsibility, you take everything for granted. You get mad more easily, you get angry at someone or something, and you think everyone else is to blame, but really you are the sole problem of your own deficiencies. So just remember that to rely on yourself isn't to be arrogant, isn't to be egotistic, but rather it is a character you want build so that you can get the help of other people without relying on others. So that you could use your own character and traits and intertwine it with other people's traits and make something more greater than what any of you individually could have done by themselves. So remember that, guys. Give it a try before you give up. And the moment in doubt of giving up, try harder before asking for help. And by then, only then, should you raise your hand and ask for what you could do better. That being said, I hope you guys had learned something from this. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.